What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit and I'm back for the second time in the past 2 seconds with some more Age Mythology of the Titans action sporting in the bottom of the map in the blue color playing as Hades. His name is Hagrid. His opponent today in the red color playing as Uranus. His name is SMP4. The map is Alfheim. This is a best of 3 for the Challengers League. And I've got some deja vu for you coming at you right now. Hagrid used his one and only veto on that first game, but I feel like he's been hit with something a little bit worse than that first game now. This gold mine is in the middle of nowhere right now. Sentry Tower is nowhere close. He's lucky his Hades Sentinel will be able to spawn around in this position. So he will be able to somewhat defend this, but having those towers around it will give them somewhat of a building situation around that one to defend it. But we'll see what he goes for. He's gone for 2 villagers on wood to start with. Normally we're seeing 3 villagers on wood with Hades because you may have to build an extra granary or 2. Hagrid actually not finding his second hunt just yet. And as I say that, he just spots it in time. He's got 75 food left in this elk right now, and also so does SMP4 here, checking around for that. He's already moved the citizen over here. And a little bit about these players, they're both actually extended edition players. So they're those up and comers who are moving over from extended edition, which is a little bit more of a casual setting. The level of play is a little bit lower. So if you're at the top level of the extended edition and you come over to Voobly, you're going to get smacked around a little bit while those players, they play to win over here on Voobly. There's none of this messing around business. And they've kind of played both platforms a little bit and show themselves up as some very strong players as well. So if you ever see these guys online and challenge them to a game, just know you're in for it. You're in for a game and a half, that's for sure. Hagrid over here has been playing for quite some time. He's very active in the community with map scripting and helping out on a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on. So he's definitely one of those people in this community who you love to love and definitely don't hate to hate, because, well, you would hate to hate him, because if you hate this man, I don't know what's wrong with you. He's a lovely human and a work of art individual indeed. We did see SMP4 already with the early scout on this food here. I don't think we've quite seen if he knows about it yet, but if he doesn't move this Oracle, he will spot this hunt, and it could be dangerous here for Hagrid. But I don't think that. Well, maybe SMP4 goes for a 4-minute advance time here. No, he's just going for a 4:30. So this hunt should be all dealt with. There are Aurochs over here as well. And if Hagrid can secure this town center, may be able to grab these Aurochs. But I feel like this is potentially a no-go zone for Hagrid in this game. Just because of the nature of Uranus versus Hades. It may be safer if he does go for a 2-town center to grab this town center here. But then again, this town center is so very appealing. The Auroch, he could pull it close to the town center, and this gold mine here would allow him to set up shop here and defend this gold mine a little bit easy. And we'll see what he goes for. Potentially, well, he's going through Ares here. It's a relatively fast advance time. That's a bit standard advance time. No early Ajax out though. Very forward temple though. That Cyclops is going to be key. Normally we see Athena here, but I think the Ares is going to slow down the pressure from SMP4 nice and early here. So moving over onto those Aurochs over on the corner may be an option as well. And we do see that the Catastropus spots these Auroch here. And he's going to notice those and try and pressure that. We do see a mana coming up for SMP4, but there's only 1 deer left here, so it's not going to help too much. And then with the Cyclops as well, has the extra crush damage to take down any manas or something like that early game. So we'll see if that becomes an issue there. We do see the villagers sniping this Oracle here. Nice play there from Hagrid. Going to move back to his base. He does have these cows here. We'll see if he goes for an early husbandry. No husbandry, going straight for those berries. I like it. He needs to build those buildings quite fast. And there is the Cyclops. The military buildings coming down right next to each other though. Catastropus is going to be searching in the base, and this could be brutal for Hagrid if he throws it down. He needs to see the military buildings first and then cast Ares. Hagrid searching very, very fast here, trying to find the military buildings in the base of SMP4, but he's not able to do so, and he does cast the Pestilence on top of the temple, and this is huge right now for SMP4. That's no value at all out of the Pestilence for Hagrid, who's gone through Ares. And we'll see if he can recover from this, sending that Cyclops straight onto the Sentry Tower. Going to pick that one off so fast because of the 12 crush damage that the Cyclops does wield in that bat that he's just bashing away at. The Ajax comes in, and we do see that the Chiron spots both of these military buildings on top of these villages here, and the Chiron here to push these guys back, but he's not able to push them off because he's not utilized that Pestilence at all. All being said though, the two heroes for Hades can be very, very big here. The Prometheans in the base of Hagrid, though, will get a villager pick off. Absolutely huge for SMP4. We do have 3 military buildings down for Hagrid. Not paying attention to this, still going to be losing another villager if he's not careful, while he's trying to fight on the front here with the Ajax here, almost getting picked off. These villagers getting pushed over into the corner for SMP4, who's not having to do anything about it. There's more houses going down for Hagrid, and these villagers finally get turned around. There's the Sentinels. That's 2 villager pickoffs, with another villager being completely idle over here. We do see a storehouse coming up for Hagrid. That's funny right there. He does have 7 wood in there, and we'll be able to pay it off very, very fast indeed, but I think the payoff is not worth walking back around the other side. But that is funny indeed, and he can wall this one in if he needs to keep that villager alive. There are more walls coming up for Hagrid now. He's going to play very defensive from here on in. I think the Cyclops got picked off as well, though. He did pick off a Sentry Tower. Catastrophe is sitting in the back, and now the units for SMP4 coming in, going to be picking off all of these Greek units. There's so many units here right now for SMP4, and Hagrid just does not have them. The Chiron picked off, the Ajax picked off, the Mamilla doing so much damage here. We see a shockwave onto the villagers there. Very, very interesting there, but okay, Hagrid does manage to defend that one there with the defender's advantage, popping out those Greek units. Just does. They do so well against this Atlantean army. When the Mamilla aren't there, the Terma just don't do all too much at all. And if the Toxotes can stay in the back of the fight well enough, going to be in a really good position. Villagers getting pushed off the berries there. Very low HP, still no husbandry, still no upgrades to speak of for Hagrid so far in this game, and the spam is still going on right now. SMP4 sitting at a 64 population to the 46 population of Hagrid here, and he is going to be pushing back and forth and in and out, darting around the map right now. But he does need to find some sort of pressure to put on here. Keep pushing, and we'll see if he can rotate his army around. I don't know if he's scouted quite the base of Hagrid, but he's getting away with murder right now on this gold mine. The houses are here, but does not really defend this location at all. And SMP4, I think we've seen this from his gameplay before. He sees one route to attack, and he just does not think to attack in a different spot. And he's going to be going after these units. Does snipe a Toxotes, but for the cost of a Mamilla, just not worth that trade there. The Hoplites are coming in, going to be picking off potentially another Terma. Not going to be moving out of his base just yet. We do see a second town center coming up for SMP4 and a manor. Given the advantage that he's gathered so far, that's a very smart move there. It's going to help put him in a position to hit a Heroic Age timing or a very fast Mythic Age timing attack as well as an option here. Now, we do see SMP4 finally deciding to make a maneuver over here. He does know about this wood line down in the back here. There are sentinels he has to worry about, but the Terma can come in and just snipe some villagers here. As he's running in, Hagrid not paying attention. He does move these villagers away, but will get the kill there on that villager as they move away. Surprised to see Hagrid not throwing up walls over here earlier. And we do see the houses under siege now, and these villagers are going to make their way elsewhere as they look like they're coming onto this gold mine here. But the oracles are already here for SMP4, who is able to spot that one. But he does not have the forces to really deny the gold mine just yet. He is going to be able to pick these houses off, but Hagrid's saying, you know what, that's biding me time. Don't mind too much about that. The army from Hagrid now moving out, going to be attacking the manor, but now he's really out of position. And I think SMP4 is going to be totally fine. He's not going to quite will be worried about the 15 or 20 population. Is it 20 population of this manor? We do see the Toxotes coming over here, going to be trying to target down some of these Terma, but the Terma can one-hit these Toxotes, so be very careful positioning there. We do see the army from SMP4 moving over to hit these gold villages while this attack is going on. Hagrid is very much out of position here to deal with this one. We do see the armies moving down in this position as well, possibly... possibly this is just a distraction here. If you're ever attacking your opponent, they're not going to be able to see these raids here, and these villages may get a lot of damage right now. We do see SMP4 coming down the bottom side as well, able to hit these villages and possibly create some sort of surround here. Not actually paying attention. They're not getting the surround, trying to slow them down right now, getting right on top of them with their Terma, picking off 2 villages. They're going after a 3rd villager, and they will be getting picked off. But Hagrid's here with this army right now, and it's starting to look very, very scary. These forces, once the Greek army gets very big, gets very scary, and they're running straight through this army of Hagrid, but they're able to maneuver with the pathfinding there. These Terma have some crazy pathfinding as they're able to sneak through the army there of Hagrid, and they're going to get out, doing so much damage to those villages. He still has 8 villages on the gold mine, but he does have a huge force right now, and the gold mine of SMP4 is about to be expired. So we'll see if Hagrid can get a gold starve here. SMP4 says, oops, for some reason. Not sure what that's about. Starting to make some catapulties here, which I do like. I think he forgot the house or something that was picked off. There it is. It's going up very soon. Hagrid sitting at 80% population. Another manor going to be getting picked off. If Hagrid can get up to 115 population with this quality of an army, it's going to be a really big position for him to be. The Terma coming in. Nice movement there from Hagrid, pulling those Toxotes back. But you have to pull them back even further to make sure you don't lose too many of them. But they will be able to pick off a bunch of Murmillo there, pushing SMP4 back again. And now we've got some idle villages. They're going to be moving up onto this gold mine here. There's no real scouting happening right now for Hagrid, so he's not going to know when this gold mine expires. 12 minutes into the game, you've got to expect it to be expired. Leave a unit over on this large gold mine and then head over here, or the other way around is an option as well. This looks like Hagrid's going to be making his way into this position. It's a really defensible position for SMP4, but he's realizing he cannot go into this gold mine just yet, and he's actually sitting at 94 gold right now. Absolutely gold starved, not mining any gold at all. Mana coming down. We see Hyperion coming in for SMP4 though. That's going to be huge in order to allow him to push out onto this gold mine, but not having any military. I tell a lie, he's got a bunch of military buildings there. The Chaos comes down onto this army. Immediately those units will be picked off. Shockwave coming down as well for SMP4. He's ready to make this push in. Satyr coming in, and Hagrid going to have to retreat for the time being. Now transitioning into farms. He's got 10 farms surrounding that town center, and he's got plow, he's got pickaxe, he's got hand axe, turning around to fight this one as he's getting pushed back, because you cannot really retreat as a Greek army against a Tyrannosaurus army. It's just way too fast. The Satyr doing so much damage in the back. Finally, Hagrid deciding to target that one with the Chiron is going to force SMP4 back, and this is actually huge for Hagrid right now. If he maneuvers his army over onto this gold mine and then hits these villages here while this army is turning around, it could be huge, but he just does not have the forces right now, as these Satyr are starting to mass up into a crazy amount of units and doing so much damage. They do 20 pierce armor or pierce damage per second, and it's just absolutely huge. And there's only one hero currently for Hagrid, as these Satyr are just becoming absolutely huge. The Terma turning around onto the Chiron, picking everything else off, and Hagrid's army is looking very, very weak right now. He's going to have to get back into his home base and retreat away from SMP4's army right now. Chiron immediately getting built back up. We check out the resources. Hagrid sitting with very low resources in the bank, but spamming out units as best as he possibly can. Now SMP4 looking for something here. These villagers are just about to run out of gold on this gold mine, as the Chiron is coming back over to help out. And the Terma chasing these guys down, but will turn around onto these units here. Going to be trying to pick off these Hippocon. The Satyr taking shooting a lot of arrows on these guys, trying to help out, but the Chiron here is going to force them back. The Satyr actually turn around and snipe even more of these units. So he realizes how much HP and armor they have. It's actually kind of crazy. They've got 50% hack and pierce armor. That's a lot of armor there for a heroic age myth unit. And they're just sitting in the back. If you can target those Satyr onto this ball of units here, their special attack does splash damage. You can possibly pick them all off with those 3 Satyr in the back there. The Chiron does get picked off, and Hagrid's still trying to fight this one here. And there really aren't that many Murmillo in this fight here, but it's the Satyr that are doing all the damage. Hoplite are on top of those Terma, helping out quite a bit. Hades Shades coming in, and Hagrid taps out. GG, well played by SMP4 there with the beautiful maneuver around this gold mine, forcing Hagrid off it, moving over here and then picking off all those villagers. On top of that, the Promethean raid, while he was getting targeted, was huge because Hagrid could not deal with that. And then also the smart placement of the military buildings so that the Pestilence got no value was absolutely huge here. And it allowed SMP4 a gigantic advantage in this game. So GG, well played by SMP4. We'll move on to game number 2 very shortly. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and we'll get that game going very soon.